Hello, my name is Alyssa Baldwin, and I will be presenting my Pedagogical Documentation Showcase. Pedagogical documentation is used in early childhood education to observe, record, and interpret children's development and learning. Pedagogical documentation can be documented in many forms, such as photos, videos, and children's artwork, as well as written reflections and interpretations by the ECE. Documentation becomes pedagogical when it goes beyond simply documenting what happened. It involves a deep reflection and analyzation of the meaning behind the observation. Educators use pedagogical documentations to try and understand children's thinking, learning processes, social interactions, and development. This gives insight into how the child develops and helps the AC improve their teaching practices. ACAs use pedagogical documentation in their professional practice in many ways. This is done through communicating with families by providing documentation, such as written and photos, to share their children's learning experiences and development. This fosters collaboration and a shared understanding of their child's developmental needs, strengths, and room for improvement. It also helps educators understand the child's interest and developmental needs, which helps them plan engaging activities for the children to support their development. They also are able to reflect on their teaching practices and improve themselves. Pedagogical documentation is also used to advocate for children and the importance of early childhood education by showcasing the complexity of each child's learning journey. It is important to focus on the children's learning process by documenting their challenges, discoveries, and development along the way. It is important to add multiple perspectives to your documentation. This can be information from children, their families, and other educators to provide a comprehensive view of the child's development and experiences. It is also important to engage in deep critical reflection to interpret children's development. It is important to use various materials to capture different aspects of the learning experiences, such as photos, videos, and written documentation. It is important to write the documentation clearly, specifically, and descriptively for families, coworkers, and others to interpret. Hair salon roleplay, hairdos and giggles. Child C set up a pretend hair salon on her own, using spoons to represent different hair dye colors, asking me which color I want next, giggling as she brushed the spoons through my hair. She then pretended to wash my hair in the toy kitchen sink. Then she would use a blanket to pretend to dry my hair. She then asked me if I wanted short hair or long hair, and used her fingers as pretend scissors to cut my hair. She followed the sequences of a real visit to a hair salon, showing creativity, cooperation, role-play skills, and an understanding of routines. Child C thrived in this real-life role-play scenario. She confidently took on the role of a hairdresser and interacted with her client, me, confidently. She was great at listening to my responses and adapting her play to me, such as using the next color and pretending to cut my hair at different lengths. She showed great conversation skills and she was great at interacting with adults. She showcased great communication, language, and literacy skills, as showcased in 3.1, conversing with peers and adults, and 1.9, interacting with adults in social domain, from the elect document from the preschool kindergarten section. Child C demonstrated fine motor skills through handling props such as the spoon and towel. She was also creative and innovative by following the steps of a hair salon visit in her own way by using props available. While playing salon, she used new vocabulary and showed her ability to understand other people's perspective. This learning experience showcased myself as overall expectation 3, specific expectation 3.9, building partnerships, learning and working together by co-constructing learning and acting as co-learners with children, page 104. It showcased Child C as overall expectation 1, specific expectation 1.4, sustained interactions in different contexts with materials, other children, and adults, page 256. This overall expectation and specific expectation focus on language and communication with both the adult myself and Child C. Child C demonstrates that they had a positive interaction and met many expectations of the kindergarten program. She showed positive interactions and engaged in genuine and engaging imaginative play that reflects real-life salon experiences. To extend her learning, I could have provided props such as hair dryers, pretend scissors, brushes, and a mirror and chairs. I could also get her to create a salon sign and an appointment book to introduce literacy and extend her creativity. I would also ask her to invite peers into her play and supply dolls or mannequin heads for her to play with in her salon. Another great way is to explore mixing colors through art and mathematics by measuring how much of each color makes different colors and shades. Let's feed the hippo. While playing outside, Child S and Child K were playing with the big plastic hippo. They started to collect items to feed the hippo, such as soil, wood chips, leaves, dirt, and dandelions. The children pretended the hippo was making noises and was eating the food they were giving him. These children worked great together in their pretend play. Their play experiences reflected an understanding of animal behavior and the children's capacity to use natural materials in a fun way. This play scenario demonstrated to me that these children can collaborate and use imaginative play together. They shared an imaginative play scenario, negotiated rules, shared materials, goals, and thoughts effectively. I also learned that these children love to explore pretend animal play. Child S and Child K worked together collaboratively and used great communication to guide each other through the play. This displayed great curiosity and persistence while exploring different materials to feed the hippo. They also explored trying to make different sounds the hippo could make while it's eating. These girls showcased overall expectation 22, using specific expectation 22.1, communicate their ideas, by communicating what to feed the hippo and making noises of the hippo while it eats. They also showcased overall expectation 1 and specific expectation 1.5, use language, verbal and nonverbal communication in various contexts to connect new experiences with what they already know. Page 259 of the kindergarten program. There are many ways to extend their hippo play experience. This can be done by providing books at circle time about hippopotamuses, adding props like food bowls for the children to put the materials in to feed the hippo. I can also then have a conversation about what the hippo eats in real life to their pretend diet. I can also invite the children to color, draw, and make crafts about hippos. My last suggestion on how to extend the play is to allow the children to write their own stories about them to continue their creativity and imagination play. This is my reference page. I have used the Government of Ontario Elect document as well as the Government of Ontario Kindergarten Program and Fred Seabrook's Lesson 11. These are my photo references, and I hope that you enjoyed watching my presentation today. Thank you.